Hello there. So apparently this morning there were alarm bells ringing among many Liverpool fans on Twitter and the internet about Luis Suarez, and mainly because Guillem Balague'S, the Spanish correspondent on Sky Sports, who by the way is a Liverpool fan, about the article that he wrote in the AS Spanish paper. Basically, in this paper, he says that Luis Suarez is determined to leave the club this summer because his family isn't happy. He isn't happy himself about the weather, the Liverpool weather, and he would like to go to the likes of Spain, where the weather is better and where his other family live in Spain. Supposedly. The interesting thing about this is that I just read, because Guillem Balague'S writes for the Spanish paper AS, and he also works for Sky Sports as a Spanish correspondent, but he also has a personal website, a blog. And this morning I will put the links below in the comment section of the article that he wrote in AS, and also what he just wrote on his personal blog. So basically he contradicts himself. He kind of tracks back on what he said, because in the Spanish paper it was all about a determination from Luis Suarez to leave the club because of the weather, his family being unhappy, etc., etc. And now on his personal blog he's saying in no way is he claiming that Luis Suarez wants to leave. He just thinks that in this summer's transfer window there will be many top clubs with the likes of Real Madrid and Bayern Munich maybe coming in for him, and supposedly there's a buyout clause in his contract of about 35 or 40 million pounds, and Liverpool would be ready to let him go if ever he wants to go, and also that it will be all about the player. It will be the player's decision to leave the club. So for me, the simple fact that he writes black in AS and then white in his blog, it's a non-story. There's nothing to stress about. So, and whatever, in both articles, whether it's in the Spanish paper or in his blog, he isn't giving us breaking news there. He's just saying what we all know. You know, Luis Suarez obviously is a world-class player, has had a fantastic season for Liverpool, scoring 30 goals, and this obviously hasn't gone unnoticed among the top clubs, and top clubs will come in for him. And the Liverpool do not want to sell him, they want to keep him. And what can we do if the players wants to go? That's all. So I'm, especially that he's a Liverpool fan, I'm quite disappointed. The only disappointment for me, because I like Guillem Balague'S. Sometimes he comes up with some accurate transfer news, but sometimes he does spout a lot of shit, you know, because what do we don't know what he wrote there in both articles. Top clubs will come in for him, and the player will decide if he wants to go or if he wants to stay. That's all. So there's, like I said again, there's really absolutely nothing to stress about. So the most important thing for me concerning Luis Suarez is whether the amount of money that we get if ever he goes. Obviously, he signed a contract extension last summer, so Liverpool should be in a strong bargaining position if ever he goes. And it's not all about the money only. If we do get the money if he goes, it's what we do with this money. If all the money goes in the bank, it's when that I will start to worry. Because, don't get me wrong, I would love Luis Suarez to stay, but at the same time I'm not naive. Whatever he has said before in his previous interviews about how happy he is, which, by the way, is quite strange now that Balague'S comes up with this, saying how unhappy his family is at the club. Luis Suarez in his previous interviews has said exactly the opposite. Who is saying the truth? Whatever. The only important thing is that if he stays, very good, but if he goes, we need to replace him. Obviously, there aren't many players with the quality of Luis Suarez, but the club will have to move on. Like I said also, I'm not naive. It's not because a player says he's happy, he's settled at the club. These players just say what we want to hear. And I'm not foolish to think that Luis Suarez, let's say if a club like Real Madrid or Bayern Munich come up with a bid for him, and it seems highly likely that they will do so, that he won't at the very least think about it and get his head turned on, because he will be 27 soon. A player's career is short. He has a maximum of 3 to 4 years left at the top level. Is he prepared, no matter how much he loves the club or whatever, is he prepared to wait? And will Liverpool, most importantly, will Liverpool be among the top 4? Not to mention only to be in contention for the title, but the top 4. Will Liverpool close the gap in 3 or 4 years before his career is finished? So that's why also I won't be angry. I will understand if he decides to go. But the most important thing, like I say, is that we get the maximum amount of money for him and we spend it wisely on quality players. So we'll just have to see. So concerning this Guillem Balague'S article, just calm the fuck down, Liverpool fans. What will happen will happen. There's nothing we can do about it. If he wants to go, he will go. If he stays, very good. But if he goes, he goes, and we move on. That's all. So we'll just have to wait and see. The other thing that I find quite funny, and I hope that many fans, Liverpool fans, are not as foolish and naive when the likes of Brendan Rodgers and Jan Ayer keep coming out and saying that Liverpool will be a big club and we will always attract top players, whatever our league position is. This is complete rubbish. Come on. Don't be naive, don't be foolish. It's all about money. It's all about trophies now for these top class players. They don't care about the history of Liverpool. What do they care about this? They just want to be in a team that is in a position to play in the Champions League and to fight for titles and trophies. So when some Liverpool fans are blinded by the fact that Liverpool have a fantastic history, but I have only one thing to say about this. It's history. It's finished, So it's not to say that I do not respect the club's history. I'm a massive Liverpool fan, as you know. But I'm not naive to the point of thinking that whatever happens at the club, however rubbish we may be in the league or whatever, the top players will always want to come to the club. So that's the reality, I'm a realist. So we'll have to see what happens. That's all I wanted to say. Like I said, I will put the 2 links to the 2 articles that Balague'S has written. on his personal website and on the newspaper. Make your own conclusions. For me, there's nothing to worry about what he wrote. And please comment and subscribe and let me know what you think. Alright? Take care. Speak to you soon.